Chinese medicine, they would look at kidney stones as being caused by a kidney deficiency, they would call it. And what that would mean is the kidney system, the kidneys themselves or kidney system isn't strong enough and have enough fluid or whatever, however you want to look at it, yin or even push with yang, to actually like keep moving things through like they're supposed to. Okay. And like I had one case, it's a really good example. They were from another country and they actually came here because so they knew somebody that got results with kidney stones. And this poor lady, I mean, she was in her 60s. She had kidney, they would go in, they would actually pulverize her kidney stones every month.
Oh no.
She'd done that for years.
Oh, no.
I mean, we're talking, well, decades. I mean, because she had kidney stones ever since she was a kid.
Okay.
So she had this, you know, so what we did is we used a basic Chinese herbal formula, built her kidneys yin and yang up to kind of give more flexibility to the kidney system.
Okay.
And then for her, which is another cause, if you look at it through Western physiology, sometimes the problem is how your body deals with minerals. And so that's why they might test the stones medically to see what they're made out of. Okay. Well, we look at it as, it doesn't really matter so much what it's made out of, as much other than if there is any calcium component with it, then from a Western stance, we would look right away at, does this person have not enough of the right kind of phosphorus in the bloodstream?
Okay.
Because phosphorus is supposed to hold on to calcium, keep it in the bloodstream so it doesn't drop out of the bloodstream at the wrong time. So like that lady was a perfect example. We built her kidney system through Chinese medicine, but then we put her on a product called PhosFood, which is a really useful phosphorus that actually then inhibited her body from dropping more calcium stones in the kidneys.
Because the calcium goes where?
Yep.
It goes into the bloodstream? Is that the one?
Yeah, then the calcium stays in the bloodstream
Okay.
and gets to the muscles and the bones where it's supposed to go.
Versus collecting into a stone.
Into the stone in the kidney system.
And if you have a stone currently, that could get broken down into the bloodstream. Through
just phosphorus sometimes.
Yes, sometimes.
We like to use multiple approaches, because then another way to do it is use American herbalism to actually, there's some really good herbs we know that break up stones in the kidney system.
Okay.
So we can use some American herbalism to just speed it up and break up the stones. Another thing we have people do at home at times is just juice watermelon.
Okay.
They have to juice the rind and all. And if they juice the rind and all, watermelon is one of the most, what we call lithotrophic foods available to us. So it breaks up the stones no matter what the stones are really made out of. The other thing that can happen is, like they'll a lot of times say, oh, when they test people's stones, they'll say, oh, they're calcium oxalate, whatever. Well, the oxalate part can be different things sometimes too, where we have to treat it a little differently. But in the end, there are really good options for that they just, they're very safe. Like the one patient we had in here, of course, she got kidney stones in the middle of her pregnancy. It was awful. So medically, what they wanted to do was put her on these very toxic, addictive pain meds. And in the middle of her pregnancy, that was their answer. And what was cool is she came in, and I think we used a mix of Chinese herbs, American herbs, lithotrophic, that we knew were safe during the pregnancy. And then I think that was all we did, and she was out of pain within 2 weeks after she had ongoing for quite some time. So there are ways to take care of that kind of stuff.
And what you would do if a patient's in current crisis where maybe they're urinating and they feel pain, because literally stones are broken down, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would do one thing, and then you might do something ongoing for somebody who needs to build up the kidney system so that this doesn't keep happening.
Exactly. Well, like my waistcoat here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I started wearing a waistcoat, for a couple of different reasons. I think they're cool.
Yes.
But then they keep my waist warm. That's the whole point of a waistcoat. You keep your waist warm,
Okay.
and like
Or a vest.
I've had a vest. We won't call this a vest. We'll go with the waistcoat 'cause it's cooler. But
Okay.
I've had a lot of guys that they hit like their 50s and 60s and they start to get kidney stones, and if they can just keep their kidney system warm, that
Okay.
midriff
Okay.
warm, I've had a number of guys, they just do that. They stay on just a little bit of herbal support, stay hydrated, try not to eat or drink too much cold stuff, and
Okay.
they've never had kidney stones again when they used to have them regularly.
Because the kidneys are at the surface.
The kidneys are close to the surface of the body in the
Yeah.
back, so they're very affected by cold weather.
Yeah.
And as a guy gets older, our kidney yang goes down.
What about a woman? It's
Well,
always
women
always
have-
hard.
Women have issue with that too. It's just men are affected especially in the kidney system.
Okay.
Women have more spleen deficiency issues.
Okay.
So women at certain times in their life are more at risk. So women
Okay.
can have stones and stuff too, especially
Yeah.
with hormone fluctuations.
But it is kind of a male thing. Like
But
you hear a lot about
men
kidneys. Yeah.
have it a lot more often, it seems like, just because of the kidney deficiency tendency. Because in Chinese medicine, that's what causes prostate stuff too. Is if you have a kidney deficiency, then you eventually have prostate issues of some kind. So with some of these older gentlemen like me, we try to
The
keep
elders.
the kidneys warm, keep them hydrated, remind them don't drink a bunch of ice water or eat a bunch of ice cream and stuff like that.
Okay.
Try to keep eating and drinking warm things.
Especially in Minnesota.
Yeah.
In the ongoing winter.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Dr. Brad. This sounds like something that could help a lot of people. Appreciate it. Well, that's a wrap.